Welcome everybody, this is Christian from Sterling Knight Gamers, and today I'm very excited that I bought the Star Wars Rebellion expansion, Rise of the Empire. I'm definitely looking forward to playing this. I've heard really great things about it, and I've heard great things about it, and I've been reading quite a bit of the Fantasy Flight articles about it, so let's see how the new ships and die and cards all look. So obviously this covers a lot of the lead up to the Rogue One, has a lot of the characters added to it. I definitely like the idea that it's adding the Interdictor, which will definitely change the strategy. It's the rule book. You can actually download a PDF of this. The new unit expansion, so got the U-Wing, which has just one green die and one black health. The Nebulon B, which is two green die and um, three red health. The gun turret, uh, two green die and a three red health, that's actually pretty impressive. That's more than I was expecting. And then the Rebel Vanguard, one green die and one black health. So what the green die does is that it only has two hits on the whole die, but they're the direct hit wildcard ones that you could choose to either one, rather than having it roll just a black or just a red die. So these things can attack either red or black health units. They're just not all that accurate. But being able to fire two of them for the turrets and the Nebulon Bs, that's not too terrible, because the Nebulon Bs are a little bit more of an anti-fighter role. Of course, it's not as powerful as a blue and a black. I like the idea of having a red and a black, like a lot of the other turrets, but we'll just have to see how this goes. The Striker is pretty much very similar is exactly the same as the U-Wing, one green and one black health. Interdictor, 4 health, and has the added ability of being forcing them not to retreat and can carry more units. The assault tank is similar to the Rebel Vanguard, and then the shield bunker. This is definitely really interesting. Space stations in the system cannot be destroyed, so that includes the Death Star and the constructed Death Star, and it enables deployment in a remote system. So this is definitely a great way to protect your Death Star as well as your Death Star under construction. As long as you can keep this in placement, then even if they have the Death Star plans, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to get up close. So if the rebels ever do try to destroy the Death Star, they'll have to attack the shield bunker just like they did in Endor. So these are the new heroes. There's Admiral Mahdi, who just has the like just minor powers, which give you one of these die rather than one that has more of the hits to it. So definitely not all that powerful, but he can resolve the Krennic a little bit better. He has a 2 and a 2 for the tactical rerolls, and he has 2 minor powers for the espionage type. Jabba the Hutt, pretty good. 2 diplomat and 2 espionage, but does not have any um, ability to lead troops, which makes sense. Krennic's finest, 2 fists and 2 minor fists. So this is definitely in contention with Chewbacca, who has 3 fists, as well as Vader and Boba Fett. So this is definitely very good for that. Good for ground. Saw 2, not so great for space. Saw Gerrera, very good for ground forces, not that great for space. Cassian, 2 of the spy power, as well as 2 minor of the spy power, so definitely great for those espionage missions. Jyn Orso, pretty much very a little bit spread out here. It can do the spy with 2 minor, a fist with a minor, and even a diplomatic minor. So, in the last case scenario, you may want to go ahead and include her. 2 fists and 2 ground combats for Charut, so definitely he's someone that's useful. 2 new rings, Jabba the Hutt, as well as K2SO. So I'm looking forward to doing this, to trying these different leaders out. There's just the stands, and then a total of the 3 green die. You can only have up to 3 of the green die in a battle. These are the new ships. Here's the new Interdictor. Relatively, well, I guess the bottom half of the Interdictor. I wonder if it includes. Here's the new tank. Not that amazing looking. I wasn't really sold. I like the shield generator. The gun turret, I like. New striker, definitely good design. I like it on that. The Nebulon B, fine. It's very relatively small. The new Vanguard troop. Sorry, it's not really focusing all that well. I guess the Interdictor doesn't have a little. Does it not have some? And then the U-wing. I'll definitely spray paint these like the rest of my ship. I'm kind of surprised the Interdictor doesn't have sun. It looks like it has something that clips onto it, but I don't see anything. Oh, here we go. Wow, I'm surprised they just couldn't pop that in for you. But yeah, so here's the Interdictor now. You just got to add the bridge to it. Makes it look more like the rest. These are the new reinforcement cards for these new characters. Makes sense. And some of these replace the original ones, like Son of Skywalker. So you'll just have to swap this out when you play the expansion. There's also a new version of Sabotage. And a whole lot of new cards, missions for both the Empire and the Rebels, as well as these new cinematic combat cards. Rather than the ones that you would do, you would draw based on the leader's ability, you now just play one of these, and that is what is done for the rest of that round, as well as new mission cards. So I can't wait to play this. I'll probably play it this weekend, and I'll make sure I'll post it right away. So this is the unboxing for Rise of the Empire. Goodbye.